Hello there guys, and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros. And today we're going to be reviewing a pre-workout by the name of Xtreme by Raw Sport. And we were lucky enough to bump into these guys at the Arnold Expo a couple of months back, and they were nice enough to give us 2 bags of their pre-workout, one in the cola flavour and one in the pineapple and mango. Obviously used them both, but today for the sake of this review we'll be rolling with the cola flavour. So stay tuned as we cover the usuals, the taste, the price, the label, the effects, all coming at you. Will it be worth it? Will it be your next pre-workout? And if you like our videos, please do hit the like button. It really does help us out. Obviously, if you're new to the channel and you like our videos, hit the sub button, hit the bell icon. So we drop about 3 reviews a week, but let's get into this one. Okay, first segment, taste and mixability, and we're going to be rolling with the cola flavour for this review. So obviously chucked in the serving amount there, let it settle for about 30 seconds, and there are some bits at the bottom. Mixability, about average, no worse than normal really. But anyway, let's see how it tastes. Cola flavours can be a bit hit and miss because obviously it's hard to get that genuine cola flavour to come through with the carbonation and the fizziness and all that sort of thing. But let's see how they've done. There's like a spicy, herby, kind of earthy taste to it, and some of the ingredients in here will probably explain that when we get into them. But yeah, it's not, I'll be honest, it's not as nice as I was hoping or thinking. Yeah, it's a strange one. There's definitely a cola essence to it. I'll be honest, I did prefer the other flavour, but this one is interesting. Yeah, it's hard to put into words really. It's like a cola essence, but with like a bitter, earthy, herby background taste to it as well. It's very strange. Yeah, there's a bit of sweetness to it. It's not really sour. It's quite strong tasting. I'll give you one more sip and then I'll give you a score. So I would say bang in the middle, 5 out of 10. It's not grim. It's not nice. It's just one of those that you just got to get down your neck and get down the gym. So, yeah, it's all right. It's doable. Let's move on to price. Okay, I just finished drinking the pre-workout and I'm going to revise my score. I think I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 on the taste because, yeah, it just got worse at the bottom and that sort of earthy bitterness and nastiness really did come through a lot more. So, yeah, I would say, yeah, from a taste standpoint, flavouring, it is worse than average. So, 4 out of 10. The other flavour is nicer. I'd probably give that more like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. So my honest opinion is if you want this pre-workout, unless you absolutely love cola and you hate pineapple and mango, I would say go for the other flavour. Okay, let's talk price. So if you want to pick up this pre-workout, you'll head over to their official website, rawsport.com, where you'll find this 20 serving bag on there for £39.99. And yes, that is expensive because when you work that out by the servings, it comes to £1.99 a go. And I don't know if you guys are aware or not, if you've watched our channel before, but we have a consistent price scale that measures how expensive pre-workouts are. And again, a 5 out of 10 is considered to be an average price pre-workout on the market as of today. This comes in at a 3.5 out of 10, so more expensive than your average pre-workout price point. So what exactly are we going to be getting for that money? Hopefully it comes through in the label and the effects. Okay, label time guys. So what exactly are we getting for that price point? So it says here, Raw Sport Xtreme is an intense pre-workout designed to make every workout explosive. Extreme your workout with intense bursts of energy and mental focus. So it sounds rather hypey, doesn't it? So let's get into it. So we've got a 14 gram serving amount, which is probably on the lower end or around average for a pre-workout serving amount today. So first up, citrulline malate at 2 to 1, 3 grams. So obviously we're only getting 2 grams of creatine, which is, to be honest with you guys, the lowest amount that would really do anything, have any noticeable, tangible effect in the gym would be around the 3 to 4 gram mark of actual L-citrulline. So we're only getting 2 grams here. So it might have some very, very mild effect, but it's not optimal, put it that way. So yeah, we're only getting a couple of grams, unfortunately, but that should help to bump up nitric oxide levels, increase in blood flow and helping with those pumps. So you might get a little bit of something from it. Then we've got beta-alanine at 3 grams, which is a nice dose. We normally look for the 3.2 gram daily dosage amount, but 3 grams is close enough, so we won't sniff at it. But that's going to help with your endurance when it builds up in your system. It helps to buffer lactic acid, but we also know and love it for that itchy, tingly sensation it gives you when it kicks in. Then we've got AAKG, which is arginine alpha-ketoglutarate at 2 grams, which is an okay dose. That's the sort of arginine that helps with your pumps, endurance, athletic performance in the gym, and it will hopefully tie in to a degree with that citrulline. Then we've got tricreatine malate at 2 grams, which is a fancy, more new age form of a creatine source. It's kind of in the name there. There's 3 types of creatine bonded to malic acid to help with improved absorption of the ingredient. It's in here at only 2 grams, and we'd normally like to see, again, around the sort of 3 to 5, even more than that in some studies that I've seen as a daily dosage amount. So we're, again, hitting a little bit lower than I'd like to see here for the creatine dose, but we all know and love creatine for obviously its benefits surrounding your power, endurance and pumps. Then we move down to taurine at 1 gram, which is normally the dose we typically see. A jack of all trades amino acid that helps with your energy production, mental focus and hydration and pumps. Then we've got beetroot powder at 1 gram, which is a pretty nice dose. That's obviously going to help to improve your blood flow, so it's going to help with your pumps, and it's also a powerful antioxidant, so it's going to help to reduce inflammation. Then we have fenugreek extract at 500 milligrams, and that is touted as a natural test booster, meant to increase libido, but similar to some of the other ingredients in here, it's something that you probably need to take daily to really notice the benefits of. So I'm not sure how it would work in an acute setting. If you just take this occasionally, 1 or 2 or 3 times a week and miss days, it might not be as effective, or if effective at all. But yeah, its main touted benefit is along the lines of test boosting, improving libido and things like that. It does have some other little health benefits attached to it as well. But yeah, it's not something we normally see in a pre-workout, to be honest with you. Normally see them in test boosters, or even just like a sort of multivitamin type thing that you take for health purposes. Then we've got Panax ginseng at another 500 milligram dosage. That's a nice one. That's got a bunch of health benefits, not limited to reducing your inflammation, because it reduces oxidative stress. So another healthy type ingredient that you wouldn't normally see in a pre-workout. It also helps with your immune system and brain function. And then we wrap off with the main important ingredient. Good job it's in here. Caffeine, 300 milligrams. And that is the equivalent to 3 strong cups worth of coffee or a couple of energy drinks. It's probably a little bit lower than what we typically see in your typical pre-workout of today's standard. But that's not always a bad thing. Some people like less, some people like more. 300 milligrams, however, you'll still definitely feel it, don't get me wrong. It's the main stimulant in any pre-workout. It's going to wake you up and get you moving. So that is the label, guys. There's no digestive aid. It's an interesting one. It is an interesting one because half of the ingredients in here you wouldn't necessarily expect to see in a pre-workout, but I guess that's why the taste was so funky. So I will give them props on it being a unique formulation. So we'll see how it comes together in the gym. Yeah, will it surprise us? Okay, we're into the real world effects of Xtreme pre-workout by Raw Sport. So let's get into it. And a couple of times myself and Aaron have used it. Today was back day, so let's talk about it. Beta-alanine, it's in here at 3 grams, which is normally definitely enough to give you some pretty intense tingles, especially if there's not too many other ingredients getting in the way of it. If it's a bit of a lighter serving amount as it is in this scenario. But it kicked into a medium degree. Maybe not quite as strong as I was expecting, but definitely enough to feel it. I would say 5 out of 10 on the single scale, bang average. Like, it wasn't weak, it wasn't overbearing, so that might be a positive. If you don't like beta-alanine, it obviously won't be enough to scare you off, but if you do like it, then you're still getting some tingles, so happy medium. Now, what comes in shortly after that beta-alanine is going to be quite obviously that 300 milligrams of caffeine, which hits quite smoothly, I'll be honest, because it is just a regular caffeine source. It's not the typical caffeine anhydrous that we see in a lot of pre-workouts, the one that's more dehydrated that kicks in faster. So it's a bit more of a smoother onset in this pre-workout, which again might be a plus or a negative depending on what sort of pre-workout you're after. Myself, depends on the day. I like a bit of both. I don't mind one that's a bit smoother occasionally. you don't always want to have your socks blown off every time you're about to train. Sometimes you might have a smaller body part to hit and don't want to be pinging off the walls. So the caffeine comes in smoothly. I would say it lasts no more than an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then it comes down nicely on the other end. I wouldn't say there's any crash or any nastiness or peaks and troughs in the energy. Like I said, very smooth on and off, in and out of the gym, get on with the rest of your day. No offence there. Let's talk about the pumps. So obviously we've got a few ingredients in here that all play into the pumps, and I would say they were maybe, I mean, not that it's necessarily promising pumps on the packaging, well, at least not in the bit that I read or what I've seen. So I don't think they're necessarily trying to get you pumped off your head with this pre-workout. They're going, quite obviously based on that, they're going more down the mental focus and energy and explosive power sort of route. But the pumps were, I would say, slightly worse than an average pre-workout. Obviously, you've only got a couple of the grams of L-citrulline, you've got a couple of grams of AKG and the taurine, and the creatine playing to a degree as well. But yeah, they were okay. You know, you'll get pumped on it, don't get me wrong, but you just won't notice that you're getting way more pumped than normal on this pre-workout, in my personal opinion and experience. So I would say that pumps are, yeah, like I said, slightly worse than your average. Now let's talk about the focus, which is one of the main touted benefits they're sort of talking about with this pre-workout. It says here, intense bursts of energy and mental focus. Now, when we get down to brass tacks, what have we got in here that will achieve that statement? Well, obviously the caffeine, as we all know, it's going to help improve your focus. The taurine to some degree, and maybe the beta-alanine if you yield any focus from that sort of sense of urgency from the tingling that you get. So again, I would say that the focus is below average, unfortunately. You know, we're seeing pre-workouts these days, even more average ones, loaded with nootropics, you know, ingredients to fire up your brain, and I'm just not seeing it or feeling it in this product. Don't get me wrong, I felt switched on training, I just didn't feel necessarily much more dialed in than normal if I wasn't on a pre-workout as such. So yeah, unfortunately I would say pumps slightly below average, focus slightly below average, energy about average. And now from a endurance and power perspective, that is more of a hard category to quantify, to analyze, to critique, to review, because it's so variable. You know, anything can impact your direct strength in the gym from day to day. And I wouldn't, to be honest with you, a lot of these ingredients work down the line. It's not something that you would take and then be like, right, okay, half an hour later, I'm 10% stronger in the gym. It just does not work like that. It's one of those ones that you have to build up in your system, take consistently, and then you'll start to see small benefits down the line. So yeah, I don't doubt that it would do that if you stick to take this pre-workout every day, but I just didn't get that in the couple of isolated times that I've used it personally, in terms of, you know, smashing PBs or feeling ridiculously strong. But I also didn't feel weak and horrible on this pre-workout, so that's a positive, isn't it? There's no negatives to it. So it doesn't ruin your sleep, it doesn't make you miss meals through appetite suppression, it doesn't leave you jittery and nauseous and nasty feeling, it doesn't ruin your day. So it has its pros and cons.
Savage pumps in the gym and the bedroom. Wolf pump.
Now, when we get straight to the point here, we have to address the elephant in the room. We just do. It's a very expensive pre-workout. It really, really is. And I don't doubt that some of the ingredients are costly, but I just wouldn't pay 40 quid for this product. I just wouldn't pay £2 to go for it, personally. And I wouldn't recommend that people do that either, because you can get a way more stacked pre-workout for that money, like at least 2 times the size of active ingredients for the same money. That's what I'm talking. So I would honestly want to be seeing this product up for sale for £20 to £25, not $39.99. That's my honest opinion. We just have to tell it how it is on the channel. Obviously, we've used hundreds of pre-workouts by this point. We've tried loads of different ingredients. We've seen lots of different prices and flavours and this and that, you name it. So we've got a good feel for what is expensive, what's a bargain, what's good, what's not so good. And unfortunately, this one just falls a bit short in every category, really. It doesn't taste as good as I'd hope. It's more expensive than I would hope. And it doesn't come together in the real world in terms of the effects in the gym as good as I'd hope either. So therefore, unfortunately, I would have to say avoid this pre-workout. Now, if we can get a mega discount code from these guys, obviously that might change things a little bit, and then I might be more inclined to say, okay, it's worth it price point wise now, so this might be suitable more for beginners or health conscious people that want to go more down that route of taking test boosting antioxidant based ingredients on a regular basis. But as it stands right now, on the information I have available to me, I cannot recommend it on the points I've mentioned. But yeah, hopefully we can secure a discount code which helps things. If not, then hopefully future iterations of this product can be made better, you know, more clinical doses, better use of ingredients. I was really hoping I'd like this product because the guys were really, really nice when we met them. Honestly, like, really genuine guys. I hope they take this review well and, you know, they take it as an opportunity to improve the product. But yeah, guys, that is everything. Let us know your thoughts down below if you've used it. Let us know what else you want to see us review on the channel, you know, all of the usuals. And as always, stay stimmed.